And for now, we switch focus back to Russian President's visit to India. We are being joined by Collins Chong-Yu-Keat, who continues to be with us. Collins, we were speaking about the economic and energy cooperation between Russia and India as well. Now, talking about that front, there is a wide trade deficit between the two countries. How do you think that trade deficit can essentially be narrowed in this visit by the Russian president?
Well, both are in need of one another. Of course, we've seen how Russia is increasingly important to India in terms of not only defense partnership, but also in terms of economic dependence. The same case for Russia. We have seen how it is increasingly important for economic leverage to be used as a positive pretext to further enhance ties between both nations, away from the traditional confinement of defense and security issues, and of course also the sensitive topic on oil purchase. And this is now being used to great effects by India. And of course also, China is feeling the jitters now in terms of growing anxiety with this renewed India-Russia ties and the closeness of these two countries. And Beijing sees that as an unwelcome hedging, especially where Russia is being treated as China's closest great power partner. So this could limit Moscow's willingness to back China on sensitive issues to Delhi in terms of border maritime ambitions in the Indian Ocean. And of course also, in response, China might, accelerate its own India-China economic, cooperation with India to further build on the momentum of this growing reset of ties with India. But ultimately, what Putin is now trying to do with India has its own long-term benefits, of course, not only to Russia, but also to enhance, to expand Russia's own presence in this part of the world in Asia, and of course in the Indo-Pacific as well. But for India, it achieved this strategic two-pronged return of ultimately safeguarding India's near-term strategic security interests, and at the same time having this dependable fallback option away from this further impact of the tariff measures by Washington, as well as also as an added ammunition against further Chinese assertiveness with regards to China-India ties in the future.
Yes, point taken, Collins. But talking beyond oil and energy imports, which are those specific sectors or areas you think that both sides are looking to leverage on and make most advances in these bilateral talks?
Well, we have seen how the conventional economic deals under discussion are mainly confined to energy. We have also seen talks on labor mobility, fertilizers, and of course also the move by both sides to also expand the areas of economic cooperation away from these traditional areas. But in terms of the key takeaways will be on energy and fertilizer deals, which will give India a strategic buffer against global commodity volatility, in terms of also now the challenges being set by sanctions and supply chain resilience, supply chain volatility also. So a steady supply of Russian energy, fertilizers, and of course in other areas as well will serve as a strategic hedging for India's own domestic needs. But at the same time also, Russia wants more of Indian exports in terms of like machinery, agriculture products and all that, to correct this trade imbalance that has been dominated by the focus on Russian oil in particular. So I think that there's a good move by both sides to also include other sectors which will also increase the overall interdependence between both nations, and to provide the pretext and the factor needed to expand the economic cooperation further away from this traditional focus on oil and defense partnership.
Yes, Collins, appreciate you joining us on the broadcast and you giving us insights on Russia-India ties. For now, we switch focus to other stories you're tracking in this edition.